my kindergarten dolphins, let's do some reading. We're going to start with our objective and then I'll explain what we're doing today. So, I'll start and you repeat. Objective is what we are going to learn. And today our objective says, I can decode words. Remember that decoding means we are going to see them with our eyes and we're going to need to figure out what sounds those letters make. It also says, I can read family words. We worked on family words a little bit yesterday in our practice pages. If you didn't get to that part, your group didn't get to that practice page, we're actually going to start with that and use it as our warm-up. So today we will need our Fritz book and our practice pages. If you didn't build your family words, so that's the Rainbow Horses group and anyone from the other groups, my 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock groups, if you didn't finish building your family words flip books, this is your time to finish it. So as a reminder, our family words flip book is on practice page 61 of our practice pages. And if you have not built these flip books, this is your time to do so. To do so, you are going to cut out your letters here, your C, F, and S, your S, F, and L, and your D, F, and L, and you are going to glue them on top of these rectangles. You're going to make flip books, so you're going to find the shape, so the circles, the triangles, or the squares, and put glue on those shapes to make a flip book over here. What you're going to see is that you can flip the letters and change the beginning sound to our endings. Let's review our family word endings. We have at, it, and og. At, it, and og word endings. What happens when I have my C, flip to my C in front of my at word ending? What word do I get? At. Cat. Very good. What about if I flip to my F? At. Fat. Very good. And last one for our at words. What happens if we have our S in front? At. Sat. Very good. Notice I was blending these endings together already. I didn't sound out each individual letter because I know that that already says at. So I don't need to sound out at. I know that together it says at. Let's do the same thing now for our it word endings. I'm not going to blend out my it. I'm just going to say it. So my first sound, I have an S in the front. It. Sit. Sit. That's one of our it family words. Now I'm going to flip to my F in the front. What do I have now? It. Fit. Very good. And my last it family word, I'm going to flip to my L in the front, and it says lit. Lit. Very good. So we did our at words and our it words. Let's finish up with our og words. Our first one starts with letter D. I'm not going to sound out my og ending. I'm just going to add my beginning sound. D, og. Dog. Very good. Dog. Now let's flip to the F in front. Og. Fog. Fog. Very good. And last one, let's flip to our L in front. Log. Log. Very good. Nice work, everyone. Now I have a little challenge for you. I have a new word ending I want to try, and this is ill. Ill. We already know this word. What happens if I put some letters in front of it? Let's try it out. Let's start with a S. Start with the letter S. So now I have ill. Sill. Sill. Very good. See how I didn't go ill. I already knew that this word was ill. We've already learned that word. So I just had to change my beginning sound. Let's try another one. This time, I'm going to put a letter T in the front. T-ill, till, till. Very good. We'll do one more, because you guys are rocking this. Let's try a letter D in the front. D-ill, dill, dill. Very good. Oh my goodness, you guys are doing so awesome. What I want to point out from that is that when we see a part of a word that we already recognize, we don't have to sound out the individual sounds. We already know that this says at, and this says it, this says ill, and this says og. We already know those sounds, so we just have to put that beginning sound, blend it into our little ending family word. We're going to try and use that now as we read in our Fritz book. So open up to page 6 and 7 in your Fritz book. We're going to be reading a story about Fritz and Lily doing some fishing. And then, when we're all done, we're going to be matching sentences to our pictures. So we're going to practice reading fluently. So we're going to practice decoding, using what we just practiced with the family words, and making sure that we're reading fluently. Remember we practiced that last week? That's going to help us to understand the sentences and match them to the pictures. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here we see a story about Fritz and Lily, and they are going fishing. We heard a little bit about this yesterday in class. Now we're going to read a story about it. So we are going to be trying to read these sentences. We're going to use decoding, and then we're going to go back and read smoothly. So this first word we know is our friend Fritz's name. That is his name. So our first word is Fritz. Fritz. Now my next word, ifts. That's a tough word. But I know a couple different things in here. I know L and I together say lit, because I've read words like lit. And I know that T and S say ts, because I've seen that before in words like sits and still. So now I have to add that F sound in the middle. That's our new sound. Let's put those things together. Lifts, 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 lifts. So Fritz lifts. That's what I have so far. I know that word. A by itself we can say and log. We know this word as well. We've practiced that. Let's go back and read the whole sentence smoothly. Fritz lifts a log. Fritz lifts a log. Now, which part of the picture does that sentence match? I see Fritz right here and he's lifting a log. So I'm going to draw a line from Fritz lifting a log to the sentence. When I read that, I noticed that's the part of the picture that matches. We don't hear about a dog at all in this, so I'm not going to draw a line from Golly. Let's move on to our next box. I know this word. This is our friend Golly's name. Golly digs. Digs. Golly digs. Oh, okay, so now we're talking about Golly. I'm going to draw a line from Golly to that sentence, because this sentence is not talking about Lily. It's talking about Golly, but in the picture I see both Lily and Golly. So I'm going to connect the picture of Golly to this sentence. Golly digs. Now let's read the next sentence of this box. That first word is our friend Lily's name. Lily digs. Those are the same word. So Golly and Lily are both digging. So I can connect the picture of Lily digging to that sentence. Golly digs, Lily digs. Very nice. Let's go to our next box. Look at our third box here. I notice I have some rebuses. Remember, a rebus is a picture that represents the word we're going to say in that sentence. So I see a picture of a worm and a can. So when we get to that part of the sentence, those are the words we're going to say. So let's begin here. I see a name here. We have Lily. Lily got. Lily got a worm. Lily got a worm. Oh, so now I see why they were digging. They're trying to dig up worms, just like we heard about yesterday in their fishing adventure story. So I'm going to look at the picture now. Oh, and I see that Lily is digging up a worm. So I'm going to draw a line connecting this sentence to that part of the picture. Let's read our next sentence. Fritz, here's that name Fritz again. Fritz ills. There's an ill family word. Remember we just did this in our warm-up? I see that word ill in there. So I'm going to put the letter F at the beginning. Fills. And an S at the end. Fills. Fritz fills a can. Fritz fills a can. So this sentence matches this part of the picture. So I'm going to draw a line matching that sentence to the picture of Fritz putting the worms in a can. He's filling it up. Here's Fritz's name again. Fritz got. Oh, there's the same word that we just read up here. Got. Fritz got a at. Fat. Hey, that's an at family word. So I knew that once I saw the A and the T, I could say at. Fat worm. There's our rebus again, showing us to say worm. Oh, and look, Fritz is holding up a big fat worm. So I'm going to draw a line from this sentence to Fritz holding up his worm. Let's look at our middle box. There's Lily's name again. Lily got. There's the same word we read over here and up here. Got a. Ooh, here's another at family word. I see the at part, but the beginning's a little tricky. It's an F and an L. That together says full. Full. Full at. Flat. Flat. Lily got a flat worm. Ooh, so Fritz got a fat worm, but Lily got a flat worm. It wasn't quite as fat. So I'm going to connect my sentence to the picture of Lily with her flatworm. Let's look at the last sentence. Let's look at the last two sentences. Notice that in some of our boxes here, we have two sentences. And I can tell because they both have a period at the end, showing me it's not one big long sentence, it's two sentences. Lily, here's her name, Lily. Here's an it family word. It's. It's. Sits. Lily sits. And here's an ill family word. I see that ill sound at the end. And I see the ST blend at the beginning. Ill. Still. Still. Lily sits still. She's sitting still, waiting for the fish. Lily sits still. I'm going to draw a line now from that sentence to Lily. That's the part that shows me about, that's the part that tells me about Lily sitting still. Here's Fritz's name, Fritz. And I notice these words are the exact same as the ones right above them. Fritz sits still. So they're both sitting still. I draw a line to connect it to Fritz. They're both sitting still, waiting for the fish. So now I'm going to go back and read this with expression, all the way from the beginning. Fritz lifts a log. Golly digs. Lily digs. Lily got a worm. Fritz fills a can. Fritz got a fat worm. Lily got a flat worm. Lily sits still. Fritz sits still. And that's our whole story about Fritz and Lily going fishing. So what I want you to do now is I want you to make sure that you connected all your sentences to the correct pictures. Then, for your homework, I would like you to read at least 3 boxes for me, okay? With expression. Nice, smooth sentences, all decoded, reading with expression. That's your goal, okay? If you can read the whole page, go for it. But if you're working hard and you get to 3 and you're like, I nailed it, and that's what I'm doing today, that's okay too. All right? So read at least 3 boxes for me. I love hearing you all read. You guys are doing such awesome work. I will check in with you all later. Bye!